Hi Aquarians, this is Call from Core Astrology. I'm here today to chat with you about the big eclipse season, which overlaps with a big Saturn Pluto conjunction, which last happened 502 years ago, and prior to that 734 years ago. So this is truly a big momentous time in our lives, and I feel quite honored and privileged to be able to do a YouTube about this in my lifetime. So let's look at how, for you Aquarians, this has been influencing you, the eclipse season. So on the 26th of December was the new moon eclipse, and for you this was in an area which relates to loss and secrets and hidden things and self-renouncing the material world to connect to the spiritual world. It happened for you in a space which is all about imagination and dreams and hopes. This is because where we lose something, or when a cycle comes to an ending, there's almost like a fresh new slate. There's a vacuum. Something has ended. And there's a vacuum to what will the new thing be. So during this new moon time, there could well have been the sense of how and what is it that I want to do going forward? What are my hopes and dreams? And this very important time to download from the ethers, connect with your higher voice, your guardian angels, your spirit guides. What imagination are they throwing at you? What is it that your soul wants you to do going forward now that this big cycle is ending? And as the new moon, in its very dark phase where we don't see it in the sky, starts growing as a small crescent and then eventually gets 180 degrees away, sun here, earth in the middle, moon here, they're 180 degrees apart. As this happens, so too does your emotional world for the Aquarians grow and grow and grow, and there's this realization of what is my new potential? Where is it that I want to go to in my life? What are my dreams telling me? The sense of how can I live my new life in a day-to-day work environment with subcontractors and staff, or me as a contractor or a staff of service to others. How can I change this up in my life so that I can let go of the old ways? And this can also mean matters related to your health, because this area of the life rules the gut and the intestines and what it is that you're eating in your diet. So how can you change your diet and your day-to-day routine and your work matters so that the sense of loss and the endings that are coming with the cycle that's coming to an end can be adapted well? Now, when this full moon occurs, you might feel frustrated that you haven't made enough changes and haven't let go enough of the old world, and you're not quite sure what day-to-day routine changes you want to make, or how that will come or be, or what you want to do with your diets. And if you do feel frustrated, and watch, the word lunatic comes from the lunar cycle, if your emotions are too expressive and reaching ahead and you're just feeling too emotive about the situation, take a deep breath and sit down and write a gratitude list of what it is that has already changed in these last 2 weeks about your day-to-day routine. Reflect and empower yourself to realize, okay, I have changed my diet, I have changed my day-to-day routine, I am busy changing my staff, or I am going to be of different service to my world going forward. Just this realization, and then all the things that you still want to change that you haven't yet changed, just write yourself a little forgiveness note and say, I actually only wanted to eat XYZ, but I did go a little bit off my diet, or I really did want to discuss something with a staff member and I didn't get to it. So just make yourself a little forgiveness list so that you don't feel too frustrated and go lunatic during the full moon time. Rather use it, the higher octave version of it, especially now that you are forewarned and you know what it's going to be about. So yes, also look out for any diseases that come through overwork or through worry. The diseases are caused by your own doing, this area of life where we're talking about day-to-day routine and illnesses or diseases or working with staff or with contractors, is very much any illnesses related to that is often because you're overworking, and the overworking is because it's in your control to change these things. So have a look at all of these things as the full moon happens, and because it's an eclipse, the repercussions will be felt for at least the next 6 months to come. So also what happens then is that after the 10th of January, which is the full moon eclipse, when these things come to a head, is that the following day, on the 11th of January, Uranus stations to go direct. And for you, Uranus is in an area related to home and family, roots, ancestry, land, property. And Uranus is the energy of new, exciting. It brings with it chaos. It brings with it liberation, independence, breakthrough moments. It's almost as though there was a lightning strike illuminating everything about your home and family life and property and house. And suddenly, with this extra light showing up the areas that were dark before, suddenly you start seeing cracks and things that aren't quite right, that need to be sorted out. And with that, there's this breakthrough. Oh my gosh, I never knew this about my family, or my needs for my own self, psychological needs for safety, which is pretty much what family and home life is all about. And with this Uranus energy in there, it's shaking and rattling and rock and rolling things for you in your family life. And because Uranus is quite a chaotic planet, it's, as mentioned, it's this lightning strike that suddenly shows a whole bunch of things and then it's gone again. It's like the sense of instability is what it brings with it, and disruption is what it brings with it. And at the same time, it's the great awakener that revolutionizes your life. And you are at a point in your life where transformation is pivotal. There is a need for a change of home. Either you're going to relocate, or you're moving, or the home you've had is dissolving. And this is very exciting, disruptive, changeable times, and the energy that comes with it. But this energy is helping you to let go of loss and endings in your life, a cycle of great spiritual growth whereby your spirit knows that to release a certain material aspect of your life is reminding you that you're actually a spiritual being. So the sense of loss that you've experienced, or that you're experiencing, and endings in a cycle, is there to grow your soul into a more authentic version of itself. So also assisting you at this time is Neptune in a place in your chart that is related to your self-worth and to your finances and your possessions, as well as your diet. So when Neptune is in this area, it is asking you to be more spiritual about your self-worth. Neptune is the planet that brings in romance, it brings in prayer, it brings in this spiritual awareness, it brings in, again, this reality that we are spiritual beings and not material beings, and that being too attached to the material world can be destructive to your soul. And where Neptune is in the chart, which in your case is all about the financial, it also allows you to trust in the growth and the evolution of the divine intervention happening in your life at the moment. It is there to give you blind faith, to trust in God or the universe, whatever it is that you believe in, that any dissolving issues around your self-esteem, maybe you don't have a job, so you don't feel like you have any self-esteem. Maybe your money's running dry because of your work situation changing. It's okay. Trust in God and the angels. They are there with you to guide you, because this is part of your evolutionary growth, so that you can let go of the cycle that's been continuing for 29 years. If you look back at your life 29 years ago, what was happening that you had to let go and experience a loss? And this loss is very much related to you having fears and anxieties and paranoias or traumas that are blocking you in this area of life where you are connecting to God and the higher realms, where you realize that as a spiritual being, you're actually perfect and everything is in order. And yet somewhere there's this Saturn-Pluto conjunction happening in this area in your life, and specifically over the year 2019, it was showing you that these anxieties and these structures that you've had in place that used to make you feel connected to God and safe are no longer working for you. It's a time to let them go. And by letting them go, you can then start manifesting a version of mastery that is responsible and disciplined when it comes to your spiritual life, to being aware that you are a child of God, that spirituality or the universe, that spirituality is important for you, that renouncing material things from the world is actually a way for you to flourish and find your own inner strength and realize that in the universe's grace, in God's grace, you are perfect. And when things are taken from you, or when things come to an ending, or secrets are revealed to you, that this is a way forward for you to grow and become a wiser, more authentic version of yourself, specifically in relations to how you are of service to the world. So, dear Aquarians, excuse me for a second, tail end of a flu. This turning point and revival in your life is about understanding that letting go of things, letting go of a cycle, because it's in a place in your life where things are coming to an end, is part of your evolutionary growth. And it's okay to do so, because then you can master the next step. It's a matter of letting go, trusting, releasing, knowing that all will be in order. And not only will it be in order, there'll be a sense of longevity and inner discipline and inner sense of responsibility about your connection to the spiritual world, to angels, to imagination, to the dream worlds. Without having that in your life, you won't be able to fly off and take off as this new version of yourself. So it's almost like during this loss of whatever it is in the material world that is coming to an end, you have only yourself and God and all your angels, and to know that you're not alone. You have got the universe and all the planets assisting you. You've got all the other energy forms that aren't in the material world here to support you. And this is the great lesson, is to activate the sense of self-renunciation and the connection with God and your own inner self and your higher self, listening to your own internal soul and being authentically, respectfully activating what it is that your soul requires. So this is really a great time for a lot of meditation, contemplation, connecting to higher self, downloading from the ethers and realizing what is holding me back and what is allowing me to move forward. It's a very sacred time. Yep, I think that's it for today. I thank you so much for listening. If you like the YouTube, please subscribe and push the like button. May you be blessed. Lots of love. Namaste. Take care and goodbye.